In before I have no idea when Rheingold does the intro. Or vice versa.
Alright guys, welcome back to the finals of Dominate Dominion number 81. This is game 2 between Giving Them the Dango and Fancy's Mom ELO. And for those of you who are just joining us, game 1 was absolutely crazy. So if you missed it, you better just stay here so that you can see game 2, and also make sure that you watch the VOD, because it was fantastic play from both teams, and that's all I'm going to say about it, but you should definitely watch it.
Yeah, that first game was just absolutely ridiculous, and the amount of damage that Syndra was doing near the end, and some of those Wooglets plays were completely out of control. That was...
Oh yeah.
We can't make the whole game a highlight, but we'll try to.
I mean, we could.
Everything about that was great. Jace's damage was really good. Zounds' delay was really good. Everything that BB's Vayne did, just, man, it was...
Syndra was fantastic.
Sam Cassiopeia, just, oh, hey, you thought you want to fight by the refinery? Actually, Cassiopeia's just going to show up and kill everyone. It's great.
And it was really interesting bans also last game by Fancy's Mom ELO. They actually just completely banned out Matt's Portal. They banned Lulu, Sona, and Janna, and it forced him onto Teemo. And he actually did really, really well on Teemo. So I think after that Teemo performance, they're like, maybe we won't just target ban him. You do have to ban the Lulu. I wouldn't actually be surprised to see a Janna ban also, but I think they're going to leave Sona available.
Also, for anybody, I see a whole bunch of viewers in the chat that aren't names I recognize. So hello, thank you to a lot of the new guys that were hanging out in the chat for this. This is a weekly Dominion tournament that we have. We run this every week here on this Twitch channel, so make sure to follow this. We also do a bunch of other streaming during the week of, just streaming normal gameplay. But this is our tournament Saturday that we have every week. And you want to win some RP, maybe get your game cashed, you should play in this, because we always like having new people come out and compete. We always like having new people come out and watch and hang out. We also have an in-game chat channel. If any of you guys are logged into the League of Legends client right now, I know a lot of you guys like to be logged into that and do stuff on the internet at the same time. If you guys are logged in, I want you to go to the lower right-hand corner. I want you to look at chat rooms and control panel in the lower right. The chat room, I think, is full right now, but for future reference, if you want to be in the chat room and hang out with us in the League client, you click chat room's control panel, you click create or join a chat room, and in the field you type in DominateDominion, and then you hit enter. And when the chat channel isn't full, it will actually put you in there. It caps out at 200 people. We've been capped out for most of the night. We really need a larger chat channel, but we don't have one. So
join Dominate Dominion 2.
Oh yeah, there's a second one that sometimes the Overflow guys hang out at. You can go to that one, but that's where you can find us at. You like these guys, you can follow them on Twitter. It's at Dominate Gaming, and make sure you follow the Twitch page, because there's more streams than just this. We do this every week, so if you want to win some RP, you guys should show up and play. The only time that we don't run a tournament is when LawPro runs their Dominion Showdowns, which later on this month, it is going to be on the, let me get the exact date for you real quick. It's going to be on the 16th and 17th. LawPro is holding another Dominion Showdown, and man, we need teams to sign up, because that was a great event the last time that we did it. LawPro's been putting on a pretty good show. So if you guys want to sign up for that as well, you guys want to support Dominion and play with us, we're going to be playing over there in that tournament on the 16th and 17th as well. And yes, Moloko, I'm casting that, and I also hear rumors that I'm going to have Forecourt Jester casting with me for that tournament, that's going to be pretty cool. So you guys can check it out. Gung Ho Gun Lion has the link there in the Twitch chat. And in the meantime, you guys can come and play out here in Dominate Dominion next weekend, where they're going to have another tournament for you. So if you guys want to win some RP playing in Dominate Dominion, or if you guys want to win some cash money in the LoL Pro Dominion Showdown, you guys should check those out and hang out with us in the chat channel. I want to say thank you guys for hanging out and watching, and let's talk a little bit about the picks, since we have a lot of new viewers here that might not be familiar with the way things go on. Take a look at these bans. Jace is a really powerful champion. Long-range poke is really good for delaying on towers. Jarvan's probably the best AD sort of tank initiator champion that there is. Lulu is a counter-targeted ban against Mad Supportal. He's the best Lulu player that there is. He's got a 100% win rate in competition. Yeah.
Really, really good at Janna.
Supportal's got 100% win rate with Lulu in competition. He's also really good at Janna and Sona. He's the best support player that we have. Nidalee is banned for similar reasons to Jace. Her long-range poke is extremely powerful. Plus, she gives a little bit of sustain to her team for the heal. And Kayle is a late-game nightmare. Imagine a ranged AD carry that can hit every single person on the team. It's absolutely brutal. And Pantheon's banned just because he's a straight-up good champion. He's got good map presence because of Grand Skyfall. It brings a stun to the table. He's good at finishing people off. Now, looking at the picks here, talk about these a little bit. Why do we see Zyra? Zyra's point control is ridiculous because of the snare, the airborne, the plant slows. You can't really fight a point very well when a Zyra is sort of installed on it. It's difficult to do. You want to drag her off and kill her there because she can delay for a monumental amount of time and does a lot of damage in the process. We're seeing Syndra. Syndra's a character that gets used down the bottom lane. She is a little bit fragile, but her damage output is very high the longer the game goes on. She has a stun, and her ultimate just does a lot of damage. She's really good against any other squishy character down in the bottom. We're seeing Urgot. Urgot is one of the safest ranged characters, sort of ranged, because his range is quite short, but Acid Hunter basically replaces his auto attack. And with an Urgot, you're reducing the incoming damage when you tag people, and his harass range is so long. It looks like we're actually going to see Syndra top, which is something that's abnormal. Sam is the bottom laner for that team that you're seeing on the right-hand side. So you see Urgot bottom. Urgot's really good bottom because of his harass range. If he lands a corrosive charge, he's able to put on a lot of damage to his lane opponent very, very safely. He's also a really durable character, so it's difficult to unseat him. He duels pretty well, too, because of the armor MR bonus from the Hyperconnect position reverser. So Syndra up top, hang out behind the team, throw some stuns, just does a lot of magic damage, operates your standard, like, AP mage carry thing. Karma's a good character because she gives shields, she gives speed. Those are nice things to have, snares her opponent, so there's just a lot of utility manipulation. And Karma does a pretty respectable amount of damage, too, in this post-rework Karma environment. We are seeing Vi. Vi has armor reduction, but there's really no one to take advantage of that. Usually you pair Vi up with another AD champion, and then it's like, oh, hey, we're gonna reduce some armor and then put out the hurt, but that's really not gonna happen in this case. And then we see Zounds on Amumu. Amumu, lots of AoE damage, a lot of crowd control, is a good character to have. Not quite as good as Amumu used to be, but Amumu's still a very powerful pick because of his AoE ability. And that stun, man, it's brutal. It's a great initiate. And over on the other team, the team that you see on the left has a lot of really long-time Dominion players. They are arguably the best team that we have in Dominion right now. They've been playing under the ID of Clueless for the most part. This week their name is giving Gnome the Dango, which is sort of like an inside reference to one of the people in our community that was eating a snack called Dango. And we're seeing Zyra, whom I talked about already. We're seeing BB Pop playing Sivir. BB Pop is the ranged AD carry player for that team, one of the better ones that we have in NA Dominion. BB, he's really good. He's just really good at that role. I can't find a way to label it better than that. BB's just really good at ranged AD carry. And Sivir in particular is useful because of her range. The Boomerang Blade is a skill shot that will go through people. I don't know if there's a particular word for that or not, but since it hits multiple targets and since it goes out and returns, hence Boomerang Blade, it sort of lingers for a couple of seconds because it has to go out and come back. So it's really useful for zoning and dealing damage. Sivir's Chase is also extremely powerful, so that's something that you have to watch out for.
Actually, he wanted to play Jinx, but he couldn't because Sauron insta-locked Malzahar, and then Matt's Portal didn't own Jinx. So he was actually forced to play Sivir instead of Jinx.
Well, hey, I mean, he's a good Sivir as well as a good Jinx.
He is a really good Sivir player. We saw him play Sivir earlier today, and it actually went really, really well. It was against an Olaf. I was a little bit concerned that Olaf would be able to just get to Sivir, but they were just in such a strong position that Bebe was pretty much able to do exactly what he wanted to do. And he's actually not running Cleanse this game like he did last game, just because he's so certain of his spell shields.
Yeah, just to hit at something that people are saying in the chat, C4 Lasty, he's a great Summoner's Rift player. Him and his friends are Challenger Diamond in Summoner's Rift. They're really good, and they came out to play in the Dominion tournament, and they lost a game, is a really easy way of saying it, you know. And they, I I saw while they were playing, they had good mechanical control, but they didn't necessarily have the the map strategic awareness and things like that the Dominion players do from having played on the map for so long, and they lost that game, and we really hope they come back, because we love seeing people that are just good at Summoner's Rift come over, play Dominion, sort of learn a little bit about it, because when you start mixing the two maps together, you start seeing some really cool strategy and champ choice evolve from that. But there's a very different sort of different leagues between the two different maps, because they're just architecturally so different. There's no laning phase here. Tons of team fights go on, so you can't like farm and get a lane advantage or a gank advantage or something like that. You can't manipulate the gold totals like that. You just straight up have to outplay people in team fights. You have to out-engage people. It's very, very direct. And the point control comes, after that and before that. The team fights are sandwiched in the middle. You push onto a point to force enemy positioning, or threaten to backcap a point to force enemy positioning, and then you turn that into a fight. And then afterwards, you say, hey, who's dead, who's alive, what points can we go for next? It's a point sandwich. You use the points to set up how the fight happens, you fight it out, and then you use the opening afterwards to try and take more points. I got sidetracked again. I was on Maokai. Maokai's a good character because just all the lockdown that he has an airborne, has a snare, both good things to have, brings massive amounts of damage reduction to his team. Now Zyra Maokai combined just screams, do not fight these guys on their tower. If you try to fight a point...
That zone control is just crazy.
If you try...
the damage decrease from Vengeful Maelstrom, you have the Strangleturns from Zyra, you have Zyra's plants. You don't want to dive that.
No, if you see Mao and Zyra on a point, go anywhere else on the freaking map. Don't even mess with that. You want to peel one off, you want to fight them somewhere else. And...
the thing that's actually concerning me a little bit about the composition of Fancy's Mom Hilo is that they're a little bit lacking on damage compared to what they had last time. Amumu will be able to build some AP, Vi will be able to build some damage, Movement will have a lot of damage, but compared to last game, they actually have a lot less damage than when they had the brand on the team.
Someone in chat asked about casting for Dominate SR tomorrow. I don't cast Summoner's Rift, man. It's not really my game. I do the Dominion thing. Which, by the way, there is a Summoner's Rift tournament if anybody wants to play in that. Lasty, your team. Come on, man. I don't know who the casters are for it, though. So, I can't really answer
I don't know if I'm casting it. I'm willing to cast it if you want me to, Feedski. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know who's lined up for that. So... oh, good, you guys are. Well, hey, man, good luck in the SR tournament. Thanks for playing the Dominion tournament last year. That's pretty cool. So I talked about why Mao's good. Just that damage reduction and that control that he brings. Janna, increased damage dealt to BB Pop Sivir. Has that shield, has that speed reduction on enemies. Just Janna's a lot of support, and Janna does a fair amount of damage, too, throughout the game. And Sauron Malzahar down the bottom. Looks like we're gonna see. Looks like he's saying AP Malzahar this time.
The interrupt just short of the sounds there. But guys, this is game 2 of the finals of Dominate Dominion number 81. Currently, Giving Gnome the Dango is up 1-0. And after an incredibly close, amazing, wonderful first game that you should all watch the positive if you missed it. But we are at the windmill fight already, and some poke being shaded back and forth between both teams. Both teams have a decent amount of poke. People sitting on one seed right now, having multiple seeds on Zyra is actually really important for the team. But there's the engage onto People's, counter engage from Parker's coming in, Exhaust going down. Also, People's going to go down almost immediately. That'll give them the passive, but it's also Maokai falling. Nice Q coming across from Supportal, but they just have to run away, completely zoned from the windmill. And once again, it is Fancy's Mom Hilo winning the windmill fight.
And they are going to pick up the point. We'll see how long they can hold on to it. Let's see if they're going to get another 300-point lead and then get their tables flipped on them. Looks like we're going to have 2 recalls, so 2v4 fight up at the top. They can very easily push this. 2 people channeling on the points, Portal and Peoples. No one's in range to interrupt that at the moment. Sauron's range is a little bit, or Sam's range is just a little bit too short. Has to get in, does connect with Supportal. Point is neutral, however, Sam by himself, there's the route from the Twisted Advance, and they are going to be able to take him down. However, Sifu and Zounds are on their way back with the revive. You see a lot of revives for this reason. It prolongs the initial windmill fight. It helps you gain control over that. In addition, there's a lot of points throughout the game where you can use revive to your advantage. And the delay on a Parkhurst...
barely goes down there.
They put a lot of hurt on a Parkhurst, but Zamike was able to... Mad Supportal, a.k.a. Zamike. He's a player who changed his summoner name. Used to play under Zamike, now plays under Mad Supportal. It's the same guy, however. And he was able to just sit back and capture up at the tower because there were 3 people zoning for him down here, which meant no one could get in range to attack Zamike to interrupt that capture.
Oh, nice Q from Zounds onto Peoples, but is able to dodge the grassing roots, not able to really capitalize more than that. Supportal and Peoples are not dying. That's really what they're doing. They're actively not dying right now. They're staying in a position where they still have presence, but not in a position where they could possibly die while they wait for their teammates to come back from the well. And that's really just so crucial to do, is to not be caught out when you don't have your full team there.
Yeah, you want to delay, and you want to be durable, one or the other. You either want to be able to live a long time or just hang outside the fire like they were doing and wait for your allies, because you don't want to go in on a 2v4 like that. That's just the fastest way to lose a game on the planet. And you do want to wait for your allies and then pick a better fight. It does cost you a few seconds worth of Nexus health, but you know what? It's way better than having people get killed and have to wait 20.
That was actually a little bit overextended there. He wants to get a Curse of Sad Mummy there. He finally does get it. He's actually almost able to get out, but it's the Stranglethorns that picks him up. Seafood Cobble with the Siphon Battery. He's actually knocked to the other side by the ult out of Janice. Sam with a little bit of damage onto a Parker's Grasping Roots does not hit. Sam and Movement, the only 2 alive on this side. Vi still zoned completely on the other side. Movement so low on health and mana is probably going to go down in just a sec. Boomerang Blade is actually dodged. He gets the shield. Oh, but it's the Siren Plant with the last auto attack that actually picks up the kill. Sam is completely out of mana right now. Peoples is going to take the health relic, and I don't think he can stay alive for very much longer.
No, Sam doesn't really have any mana, unfortunately. Is going to have to fall back out of that. That is Urgot's biggest weakness when you have top Urgot, is that he just does not have the mana, unfortunately, to sort of be sustained up there. See Sauron and Alaric down in the lower part of the map. Sauron, for any of you new viewers out there, Sauron is the highest ELO Dominion player that we've ever had. I think he was at like 2,800 and change at his peak. Like 2816 or 2830 or something like that, if I remember correctly. Long time competitor. He's really good down the bottom lane or in the top lane. He's one of the best.
Alright, so Storm Shield being channeled here actually is barely able to finish that. Supportal not wanting to use the Howling Gale, because if Howling Gale is down, then you can get engaged on. So he waited to use the Zephyr, and he just wasn't in range quite soon enough. So Storm Shield went over to Mumu.
And Sauron going for AP Malzahar down the bottom lane. You see Malzahar built both ways in the bottom lane, AD or AP. And this time this is an AP one that we are seeing there.
And keep in mind that Sounds does not have Curse of the Sun Mummy right now. So they're going to be fighting without that major ult from a Mumu. And I think that both teams know this right now. Parker's is exhausted. He's actually going to have to back out. It was the Vengeful Maelstrom, not quite enough damage there. So very nice pickup by Fancy's mom.
And BB just throwing those boomerang blanks out, hanging out up at the top point, wants to keep those minions off, and Sivir's a really good champion for keeping minions pushed back.
Yeah, Sivir, Graves, and Caitlyn probably the AD carries with the best wave clear. On all of them with their Qs, actually, just amazing wave clear on those spells. Sifu Calvin coming in from the other side. Movement, actually, no one's channeling the point right now. They're just willing to tank it, and Hyperkinetic Position Reverser gets knocked up afterwards by the Stranglethorns, but they got the kill on Jetta. Doesn't matter, Sifu Calvin does go down to that ricochet from Bebe, and everyone's so low. Movement trying to just recall here, and he is going to be able to live, but it's another kill for Peoples, and that's going to be the windmill staying in favor of Gnome.
Yeah, they were not able to get a hit over in the bushes fast enough to interrupt that recall. They're more focused on taking down Amumu. Zounds, who is pretty healthy at the moment. He does have that Spectral Cowl and that Ruby Crystal and that Doran Shield, so that's a lot of health.
He does not have his Assault and Battery, and Peoples is coming for the counter gank. And the Grasping does not hit, but there is the Nether Grasp, which does. And Sifu Calvin, remember, he did not have the ability to interrupt that. He could have Vault Breakered, but it would have been suicide. Yeah,
that wouldn't have been a particularly good call if he had gone for that. And Sifu, oh dear, slow airborne plants. Everything bad happened to him at once. His HP just disappears there for a moment.
But engaging onto a Janna is generally not a smart thing. Sifu actually survives. He didn't go down there, has 65 health after the level up. Vengeful Maelstrom down. Sam actually gonna fall also. And Movement tries to do anything, but even his E. No, that's his W. That's his Focus Resolve. There you go. Focus Resolve is not enough.
Zounds hanging around waiting for Vi to catch up. It looks like they have the snare going on BB Pop. Sivir popped it with the bandage toss. Still moved Amumu up. Didn't land the stun, but it did break the spell shield to enable the other crowd control to land. which was a pretty nice setup there. It looks like they're going to go for this top point. High Peoples is on his way there.
Quest objective going over to Gnome's team.
Yes. And High Peoples is going to be able to interrupt one person. There's a bunch of minions there, though. They're going to help them turn that tower around. And, oh, dear, Sifu shutting down High Peoples.
Yeah, Sifu with the shutdown there. And Bebe is here, has Spell Shield if he wants it. Actually going to activate his ult there to try and stop the recap, but can't quite do it. Boomerang Blade does a lot of damage to their HP bars. He actually probably could 1v2 right now, except for the fact that Assault and Battery is available.
And oh, that bandage toss. I don't know how I feel about that, Zounds. That could have ended in disaster. Curse the Sad Mummy. There's the Assault and Battery.
Yeah, they were just a little bit too low to actually try and go for that, I think.
Yeah, Vi should have really called for backup before going in on that. That's something she should have learned at Police Academy, but maybe she didn't make it there for that class. Movement low on health. I don't know how I feel about that. Does have the shield, but, I mean, it could still be a Twisted Advance combo away from disaster.
Alaric almost picks up the kill on the Sauron. Actually, that wasn't that close, but he does go down to the Malefic Visions. I think I've talked about this in the past, but Malefic Visions is like the worst way to die. Like if you imagine that you're actually your champion and what the abilities are actually happening to you, you just have this horrible nightmare that it's impossible to get out of, and then you die.
That's pretty frightening, actually. That's like horror film level.
Yeah,
middle of the map, we have BB
scary.
exhausted. Crowd control on him. They're really trying to put him down, but Janna, Mad Supportal, doing a really good job being able to keep him up. Sam's health is plummeting. He is forced away from the fight. Throws down the Corrosive Charge, trying to get some damage in as he retreats. And a little bit of damage coming in from movement as well. And Zounds is Namumu, and Namumu's are really not particularly good at escaping. We'll see how this plays out here. Oh, Alaric tags Peoples with the stun, and is able to try to bail out his friend. Unfortunately, Amumu is caught by Malzahar on the way out.
Yeah, Mumu is sort of similar to Leona in that it's really good at engaging, and that's the only thing in the entire game that it's good at.
Yeah, Mumu has an active and at the summoner platform switch. And Syndra able to pick up the shutdown on Sauron's Malzahar.
And so Sam is probably going to go down to Supportal here. One more auto attack with the shield is going to be enough. And Supportal, with the kill his first of the game, he actually went for swiftness boots. So he is just zipping around the map with a W first max, getting that Zephyr to max rank. That's a lot of movement speed. Plus he has the swiftness. Plus there are the speed shrines. Plus he has his Tailwind passive. That's a lot of move speed on Janna.
And that's a lot of manipulation of the movement speed too, because of all those different spells and effects. Also, yeah, man, we know that Dominion is the less played and less watched, and we like it more. So, whatever. We like SR too. We just like this more because we don't like laning. We just want a team fight, and this game is a lot of team fighting.
And it's also a lot of capturing points, which they're currently doing in top. Windmill will be recaptured by movement here. It is, however, Sauron in the bot is getting the revenge pickup on the Boneyard neutralize, and it will finish the capture. Alaric on Syndra just doesn't have too much damage. Wasn't able to rush the BFT, and so doesn't have that 100-0 capacity.
Mumu's gonna go and not keep that tower from going neutral. Ooh, that's not very good.
Assault Battery goes down, but again it's onto Maokai. They do get the kill, but it's the Stranglethorns coming down. Sam with the ult finish onto Sauron. It's actually two suppresses, one suppress and then the other. And Peoples is here. That was not a 1v1. Not cool, dude. But they get the kill. That's what really matters. And movement is actually not going to go down even. He got the shield the last second. But it's the stuff for the picks up the kill anyway.
I'm really sad that when Janna throws the bird at people, the bird explodes. I always feel really bad for it.
Well, it can be an awesome explosion. An amazing explosion? I don't remember what their name was.
Awesome explosion. Zound's not going to be able to connect with Sauron. Sauron is going to be able to escape. And with giving Gnome the Dango's team, having this map control they have, it's going to be... They have to break out of this somehow. They've been putting a lot of focus on both areas of the map. I almost feel like they should get into a straight-up 5v5, wipe them off the face of the map for a minute, and grab some stuff.
Yeah, their team is really utility and CC oriented, and there's just not so much damage on it. Mulan Amakan is Karma's damage. She's building towards that Blackfire Torch, but doesn't have it yet. She's not doing too much damage. Syndra is Syndra, so she does a lot of damage, but with the Athene's build, that's super utility focused. It doesn't do too much damage itself. You do have the Yomu's on Vi. That's also going to be a lot of damage. but Amumu is building complete tank, and overall there's just not that many damage sources, despite the fact that they have all of this CC, all of this utility on the side of Fancy's mom's team.
Yeah, when they are able to land any of that control, there's just not a lot of follow-up on. And Sifu does plenty of damage. We've seen that in a couple of engagements. Alaric Ventress does pretty solid damage too. But I mean, he went Sork Shoes, Void Staff, Athenes. That's not a lot of ability power going on there. I mean, usually you want to get some sort of ability power, then get your Void Staff. But, you know, we'll see what he builds into next, if the game's able to even go on that long. Looks like there's people coming down to the bottom part of the map now. Looks like they're maybe going to look for a gank there. Nope, moving up to the top. You see people's checking that bush. Little things that, you know, you don't realize go on. It's like, hey, they're checking bushes, they're walking by, making sure to have that vision control, and they're diving down to the bomb. They see it, there's a bunch of people up at the top part of the map, so they're free to do this if they want to. He's throwing Zyra's plant back at her. She takes some damage, but unfortunately there's no one to stop Sauron from capturing that point. So they just give the windmill away entirely, realize they're closer to the bottom, and then go for that fight instead, take that tower over.
Stranglethorn's Assault and Battery, and both of them go down. Sam being chased now has a little bit of a shield there from that Terror Capacitor. Gets silenced. One Boomerang Blade would be enough to pick him out, I think. Sauron, not wanting to dive, saw that laser animation and said, nope, 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 nope.
Yeah, I like that one frame of the laser that just lets you know, and then it starts hitting you. And Sauron, chasing after movement, gets hit, slowed for his troubles. That's Peoples and Sauron. They're both pretty squishy. There's the Youmuu's active and the exhaust, but a lot of that Youmuu's time was used up connecting with Sauron in the first place. I feel like he may have wanted to run up on him instead of... or wait at least a little bit, at least, before using that. It turned out okay, though, but... what was the potential for that to go wrong? And look at this. I like this. Let's leave Sifu here. There's no globals on the enemy team. Sifu can capture that. Let's take the person with full health and mana, send them across the map.
And Baby, oh my god, Baby survived that with a little bit of a healing tick coming from Jenna. That was crazy. He life-stealed just enough. I was sure he was going to go down and sacrificing himself for his team. But no, he was not sacrificing anything. He had the ability to survive, and he lived. And just trying to zone out a little bit. He is so squishy right now. He will go down to that Q. Oh, but the shield from Janna. So portal is not going to fall. Maokai goes down. And the recap of the top point actually does go back over to Gnome's team. Baby and Supportal both have like 0
I'm pretty
HP
scared
right
up
now.
here. Syndra has a storm shield. This could be bad. Nope, the plant. The plant and that Zephyr. I feel like if Syndra was going to be effective there, Syndra should have just dived while at pretty high health in that storm shield and just went like super all in. Because hanging out and playing that waiting game and getting chipped down like that, I think is a really unfortunate way to go. Sauron doesn't have health anymore.
Yeah, Sauron sort of exploded there just a little bit. And I don't know, are we seeing another comeback ender?
It's a possibility. I mean, you're never really out in Dominion until those last very few seconds of the game. As evidenced by plenty of VODs. I can't even think to name them all right now. Parker's getting beat up. Oh, that stun! The stun connect with BB! It gave vision!
Oh! He actually managed to land that bandage toss in the bush, and they got the shutdown, winning the fight there. Sauron is back alive on Malzahar, so he is going to be able to interrupt very effectively unless he gets completely zoned out by Sifu Goblin, because Sifu's Goblin sending blows do so much damage, but he gets suppressed by Malzahar. Sauron actually picks up the revenge kill there, gets knocked back by Alaric, but that was too late, and Sauron successfully delayed that.
Alaric, is he going to be able to get this tower now? Oh, he does have a few minions, he is, but,
yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for those minions, he would have not gotten that because he took time off to try and get rid of Sauron. But that orb reveal into Assault and Battery was so crucial in them being able to turn this point around, which also in turn is going to give them the top point, because look at how much they overcommitted. Like, I love this team, but oh man, did they really need that many people to get rid of a Syndra? They're going to lose the windmill in the process.
They've been alternating so well between top and bottom, and so they're exchanging where the 3 cap is. They'll capture the Boneyard, give up the windmill, capture the windmill, give up the Boneyard. But this time, Gnome's team wasn't able to actually pick up the Boneyard because they had to pick up their own point instead. And a Power Curse is actually probably going to fall here. He has that magic, but that's not enough.
And they were able to take down Mao. Mao's dead for 20 seconds, does not have revive up, so he won't be able to join this fight. Zounds eats the silence, puts a little bit of hurt on Sauron, and Zounds is a little extended and completely dead. Does not have his revive, and that's not what they want right now.
But they might actually be okay for the next 17 seconds. Maokai is reviving right now. Movement's in a holding pattern right now with support on the top lane. Syndra roaming up actually manages to get the snare from that W and the Monster Q. That's going to be enough
And BB
Out of
takes a
the
little bit of
bullpen.
damage, but does a lot to Syndra in the process. They need to be able to kill BB, because BB will end them if he's able to connect. Parkhurst is back now, so is everyone on their team, but Amumu has not caught up to the fight yet.
Yeah, Mumu's a little bit far away, and actually does have his Curse of the Sun Mummy. So he will have that ult when he gets top, but he needs to get top first. Vi is here. Supportal actually, Assault and Battery, he ulted away, so he was able to survive, and it was actually Supportal who got exhausted. Sounds is going to interrupt that capture from Zyra, and it's Sifu Calvin in the middle of Bebe and a Parkhurst. Movement is so low right now, so is Aleric, so is Zounds actually for that matter. There's the Curse of the Sun Mummy finally coming in. Movement wanting to heal a little bit with his W there. We'll see if he's actually able to. It's a double kill for Sivir, and the point just goes straight back there. Meanwhile, in bot, Sauron was actually able to win the 1v1 against Aleric. He didn't get the kill, but he sent him back, and now he's going to be able to pick up the Boneyard.
And that is really close to being game.
Yeah.
It might be even. Those minions can't neutral that. This point is going to get neutral because they're staying a little bit too... isn't going to get neutral because they were staying too close together. And what? The Castor minions were shooting the Zyra plants instead of the minions, so it did get neutral because Zyra taunted the tower.
Oh my god.
That is going to be game.
Yeah, the neutral, that means that it's a 3.5 cap right now on the side
It's a 3 and 2 halves cap.
3 and 2 halves cap, yeah. So effectively a 4 cap. Nice with us there. I don't think it's going to be enough to save his life. Yeah, Malzahar with the kill there. And that's game. It's a 2-0 by Gnome's team.
Yeah, giving Gnome the Dango has plenty of Dango to give out to people, and they're going to take this finals 2-0 this week. So I say thank you guys very much for coming out and watching. A lot of new viewers that hung out. I hope we put on a good enough show for you, man. I'm really hope you guys all caught that game 1 of the finals, because game 1 was really intense. We do this every week, and I think there's one exception. I don't think we're doing the one on the 16th, though. But if you guys want to come out and play, win some RP, maybe get your game cast by us, we highly encourage you guys to show up, because we always like having new players. We like having new people hang out in the chat. We just like new people to play with in general, because, I don't know, the more the better, or some catchphrase like that. If you want to be part of the community and you want to hang out in the in-game chat channel with us, which I think is actually full. No, there's like 10 slots left in it right now. Go to the lower right-hand corner, click View Chat Rooms Control Panel, go up and click Create or Join a Public Chat Room, and then type in the words DominateDominion. There's not a space between that. It's just DominateDominion. And that will put you over in the chat channel with us. And you can hang out with us during the week. There's a lot of people that stream. We play a lot of in-houses. There's this tournament that goes on. All sorts of good things like that. And if you guys want to, then we give out RP for the prize every week. 20, 15, 10, 5 for, first, second, third, fourth. And first place will win Triumphant Rise skin as well. And on the 16th and 17th, LOLPro will be having their LOLPro Dominion Showdown. So if you want to win some actual cash money playing Dominion, you guys should go and play in that, because the more teams that play in it, the better. That's 2 weeks from now, guys. Make your teams, go sign up. Me and Forecourt Jester are going to be casting that. Azel and the guys at LOLPro putting on another event for us. So we should, if they're going to support us, we should go out and support them as well.
Alright, so we can look at Damage Delta Champions real quick if you're curious about the game. Another game with very similar Damage Delta Champions, although less damage overall, because there was no terrifying brand combination on one of the teams. And for Time Spent Dead, it's actually almost as high there between Amumu and Urgot, 191 and 195. And that is actually going to be it. And I need to change this hold screen at the end. Giving Gnome the Dango. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, they have won. They've managed to win 2-0.
Technically, this is the first time that team has competed in Dominate Dominion. Technically.
But not really, because all those players have been on teams before. There you go. But thanks for hanging out, guys. If you like me and my media, you can check me out on Twitter, which gets updated sporadically. It's at VatoClan. Or better yet, go to my team's YouTube channel, youtube.com/VatoClan. If you guys want to see VODs from past Dominion tournaments, if you want to go back in time and see what games were like 3 months, 6 months, a year ago, you guys can go do that there. I have them all playlisted Go to the playlist section, pick which event you want to watch, and you can relive it as many times as you want to. You can find out times when I was wrong. You can find out times where Sauron ran the game. You can find those off tournaments where we had people who were normally players casting. You can find Generic and Sakuriono's casts in there. So there's a lot of good things to be found in those archives on youtube.com/VlachoClan. And please, guys, subscribe to that channel because I care about my total views a lot. If you aren't subscribed and you're watching my stuff, great. You're really cool. In fact, you're cooler than the people that live next door to you. But other people really care about my subscriber numbers. So if you guys want to help me get those up and click the subscribe button, that'd be really nice too.
And if you want to follow me on Twitter, that'd be super cool. Twitter.com/DrangoRiver. I cast for a whole bunch of different things, and I'm always looking for other things to cast. So if you have a tournament and looking for a caster, let me know. And I actually learned how to find tweets that I mentioned in, so I might even respond to you if you tweeted something at me. And that's going to be it for the gut day. Guys, we're going to throw up one final commercial break. Please turn off your ad block. Help support Dominate Gaming. Help support the community. And I swear the only thing that'll happen on the stream for the rest of the broadcast is the Vi and Jinx music, so you won't be missing out on anything because you can just watch that on YouTube at the same time in another tab while you're helping to support us. So thank you all so much for turning out to watch us this week, and we'll see you next week.